Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on tutorialspedia.com YouTube channel. Today in this video I will be explaining step by step how you can create and implement a SOAP web service using Anypoint Studio in MuleSoft 4. Before I proceed, I will request you to please subscribe to the channel so that you are able to get latest videos from the channel, as I'm planning to have a series of tutorials for Mule4 with Anypoint Studio covering different topics and different aspects of implementation using MuleSoft. In today's video, I will implement a simple scenario of a SOAP web service using a predefined WSDL, and I'll explain you how you can implement a web service very easily and conveniently using MuleSoft. The scenario will be very simple, where I will expose just one operation in the WSDL, and that operation will be implemented where a client will be passing a name, and based on the length of the name, this operation will return a status, either active or inactive. I know this is a very simple scenario and not a production ready scenario, but the purpose of this tutorial is just to help you to understand the concepts, that how you can utilize Anypoint Studio in Mule4 and implement a web service, and down the road you can further enhance this implementation and just work on the message flow, and then you can find out that there are a lot of options available in Mule4 where you can implement it just in a standard format, where you will be integrating with databases, where you can integrate with other using other connectors. You can integrate with different applications and different systems, and you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, without further ado, let's proceed with the implementation. So the first thing I need to do, I have already opened Anypoint Studio, and now I need to create a project. This Anypoint Studio is a Eclipse based IDE, and it's very convenient. If you are already from a Java background and you have used Eclipse, then you should find it very easy to use. So first thing, I need to create a project. I will just go to File from the menu, and then I choose New, and I will create a Mule project. Now I need to give a name to this project. I will name it like Tutorialspedia SOAP web service, and runtime is already selected. Since I want to create a SOAP web service from one of the WSDL that I have already created and stored locally, so I will choose under the API specification this option from Design Center or local files. And now I will choose this button and choose the option of browse files, as I want to browse the WSDL from my local machine. So hello mule.wsdl is a WSDL that I have already created, and I will just choose this. As you can see, when I uploaded this, when I selected and uploaded the WSDL, now this Anypoint Studio has automatically populated service import based on the configurations available in the WSDL file. My WSDL file has only one service and one port, so accordingly this has been populated. Nothing more, I will just go to this finish button, and this will create my project in the workspace that I have selected. As you can see, the project under the package explorer, the whole structure of the package of the project has been created, and there is a message flow automatically created based on the operation that I have available in my WSDL. If you go down, if you scroll it, you can see that there is a dummy implementation also available for the get status message, get status operation. If you see now, by default, if we see this transform message, our operation will be returning the fault string with the message that operation is not implemented. Now our job is to implement this operation, and even before implementation, if we just give it a try and see how it goes, and if we call this operation from any client, for example from SOAP UI, we should receive this error. So how we can access our WSDL and how we can consume this web service? For that, I will just click on this listener to find out the connection details. So you can see here the path is hello mule / hello mule soap. So I will just copy this, and I want to know the host and port also. For that, I will click on this edit option under the connector configuration, and you will find that on the default 8081 and localhost, this service is listening. So I will have to run this service first, and then I will call it from SOAP UI. I'll go to this message flow, just right click and choose the option run project tutorials PDR SOAP web service. So once I click on this, it asks me to save. So yeah, I want to save it. And now as you can see in the console that process has started for deploying this service into the runtime. It does take some time. My machine specifications are a bit low, so it might take a little longer, but normally it doesn't take too long. So once you will see the message here in the console stating that this service, this project has been deployed, then you will be able to load the WSDL in the SOAP UI. While it's being deployed, let me go to SOAP UI and I will go to the option of SOAP, and I will specify the WSDL HTTP localhost colon 8081 and slash hello mule slash hello mule soap. Let's give a name to this project in SOAP UI. I will name it tutorialspedia mule soap service, and let me see if it has been deployed. Now it's still deploying, and once this service will be deployed, then I will be able to call it. Now you can see here the status is deployed. This means that now I should be able to access this WSDL. If I click on OK, there is some mistake. Localhost 8081 slash hello mule. Oh, sorry, I didn't specify question mark WSDL. So now I should be able to load the WSDL. As you can see, WSDL has been loaded and one operation available in the service with the name get status is available. Now I will call this service with anything, any input for the name. For example, if I give the name as Ajmal, and I should receive a fault response because I haven't implemented the service. You can see I got a response with the fault, and it says that operation get status not implemented. All right, so far so good. Now we go back to our Mule Anypoint Studio, and now we want to proceed with the implementation. So for our tutorials, a simple scenario, we want to just extract this name from the input, and then we will check the length of the name, and based on the length we will use a choice, and with the choice we will decide the response. Either it will be status active or inactive. In order to extract XPath elements from our input XML, we need to use certain libraries and we need to add some dependencies in our project. So we will go to this pom.xml file, and I have already copied the required dependency, so I will just copy it from here. Basically we need mule XML module because we will be using XML module colon XPath in order to extract the name from the input. So I will just go to dependencies and I will paste this, and I will save it. So let me stop it for now. Okay, so let's go back to our message flow, and now we need to extract this name from the input that will be received by this SOAP service. In order to receive that, we will use a set variable activity or set variable component, and we will just drop it before this transformation. So this set variable will be used in order to get the value from the input and save it into a variable. So I will give name to a variable with let's name it like in underscore name. You can name it anything. Now the value, if you see, we have the option. We can currently it's in the literal mode where you have to you can specify a direct value, but we want to extract it using an expression. So we will choose it to expression, switch it to expression mode. Now here we will write the expression where we will be calling the XML module method XPath method in order to extract the value. I have already copied the required uh, expression, and so I will just paste it into the expression field. So I will use XML module colon XPath, and then this expects three parameters. The first one is uh, name slash text, which means I want to get the name, and from where I'm specifying in the second parameter, which is payload.body, and I'm converting it into raw. And the third one is the array box, because the output of this method will be an array. So I'll just paste it and save it. Now the output will be available in underscore name. Okay, so based on this output, I want to take the decision that what should be the output. So I will choose this choice. So this choice router, I need to add it up. Sorry, I need to add this choice router after set variable. So once I add this choice, I need to specify the conditions, that under what conditions, what should be the message. So I will click on this when, and I'll write the expression here. So I will switch to expression mode, and I will write here that whenever the length of the name is greater than 5, I will return active, and whenever length of the name which is provided as an input is less than 5, I will return a different message. So I will write the operation size of this is a method available, and inside this I will get the length of I will get the element, the variable with the name in underscore name. So I can get the variables using vars dot in underscore name, and since it's an array, so I need to specify the index. So index starts from 0, so the 0 index is the place where the actual name will be saved, and I will choose greater than 5. So now if the length is greater than 5, I will transform the message here. So I will choose this transform message, and actually this outside transform message we don't need anymore, because we want to transform the message based on the conditions. So here in the transform message, let me keep that one as well, because I will just copy from here and I will paste it here and then modify it. So we don't want to return a fault, we want to return an actual response. So we want to write it as get response, and here I will specify the message. I will rename it to status, and I will mention it as active. So whenever the length is greater than 5, the response will be stating that status is active. Let me copy it, and I will do the same for the default flow, which is when the length is not matching the condition here. So I will drag another transform and I will put it in default. Here I will just paste the same, and the status is inactive, nothing else. Okay, we save it, and now we can remove this transform because we don't need it. All right, so far what we have done is that we have implemented a SOAP operation based on the WSDL, and we are setting the variable using the set variable, and here we are populating the value in underscore name, and then we are using a choice, and using the choice router we are putting a condition that whenever the length is greater than 5, we are transforming the message and returning the response as active, and otherwise we are returning the message as inactive. Just to add a logger in order to log whatever input we are receiving, and to make sure everything is fine, we can use this logger from the core module. So I want to log after setting the variable. So whatever the variable is, I want to log it here. So here in the message, I just want to log was dot in underscore name. All right, so if you want to log your response, you can log your response as well, but for now no need. All right, so Now we are done with this. We just save it and let's run our project and see how it goes. We choose run the project. Now the project will be running in the runtime. It will take a couple of minutes maybe, and then we will be able to consume this web service operation from our SOAP UI client. Let's wait for a while. If you try right now, you should not get a response because the project hasn't loaded. Yeah, it's giving you connection refused because our service is still not running. It's loading in the runtime. So just wait for a few more seconds before it's deployed. So you might have noticed that it's very easy and convenient to implement a SOAP web service, this type of a simple SOAP web service using Anypoint Studio. And down the road, I will provide you more tutorials in future where we will go with the complex scenarios, because this is a very simple scenario, but in real production environments or real business applications, we don't have this type of simple scenarios. Rather, we have to write complex type of message flows where we have to interact with different applications. We have to write different components. We have to use different modules, and we will inshallah cover those flows as well. You can see now the status is deployed. So now let's go to the client and call the service. So you can see the status when I passed Ajmal, because the length is not greater than 5. Actually it's 5, so I'm getting inactive. So if I pass the input as, okay, before I pass another input, let's go to the console and see the log. You can see the logger has logged the input, which is Ajmal. So now we go again to SOAP UI and I pass a input which is longer than 5. So now I'm passing tutorialspedia.com and I should get a status active. So you can see that based on the provided input, we are getting the response accordingly. Well, that's it for today's tutorial, and I hope that this tutorial will help you to understand the basics of how to implement a SOAP web service using Mule4. And if you have any questions or any ambiguities, or if you want any clarities, feel free to comment below in the comment section. I will try my best to respond to your queries and your concerns and your questions. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this in future. Thank you.